gave this man new potential and greater possibility. By way of insight, there is perhaps nothing more binding and limiting than feeling stuck in a condition or circumstance that requires one to remain the same. The application of this idea involves not only this man's physical limitation, but it also could be applicable to one's spiritual situation. And by all means, any other circumstance that requires one to remain in a state where he or she feels bound or limited. You see, this is another message of truth. Truth from the Scriptures that is intended to have a transforming effect on all seekers of the truth. There are potentially three personalities in this group. There is Bartimaeus, a blind man seeking to regain his sight, dealing with his condition and being blind, being perhaps treated by people in very unseemly ways. Here is this individual seeking mercy from Jesus. And then there's that second personality. Bartimaeus, be quiet. Keep your mouth shut. Do you want me to knock you on your head one more time? And then there is the personality of Jesus. Compassionate, merciful, one whom we should be like, who was willing to bring the resources, the power, the truth of God into a person's life. And we will perhaps see ourselves in one of these sort of personalities. And wherever we find ourselves, we should be compelled to recognize our need to be more transformed into the likeness of Jesus. You see, regardless of who we are, transformation in an area of our life is an ongoing necessity. How many of us are fully aware that there is a need to be transformed in some perhaps underdeveloped area of our life? A condition that does not allow God to be pleased with us, that obstructs him from getting glory from us. Like in other areas of human experience, brothers and sisters, if we do not strive to see spiritually, we may miss possibilities that may never return. How often in some venue of life where a possibility came your way and you missed it because you did not see it arrive. my conjecture on this is grounded in Bartimaeus' testimony. He wanted something from Jesus. He wanted something so much that he persevered until he got Christ's attention. He knew that this was the occasion. This might be the only occasion where he may get a chance, an opportunity to reach Jesus. Let's put transformation in perspective. In our last study, Luke chapter 8, 42 through 48, we suggested from this text that the woman's past disappointments had to be let go of if she was to truly benefit from the teaching of Jesus. If she was going to be healed by his power, she was going to have to let go of all her disappointments, her memories of past experiences that no doubt, when a person holds in their mind, prevents them from seeing God's will more clearly. In Mark chapter 10, verse number 46 to 52, we will see how light can shape a meaningless identity, and how Jesus can grant a new one. You see, life can be full of unexpected challenges. Challenges that can shape us into despairing people, so that we don't see our potential or don't recognize our many possibilities. Bartimaeus may be a blind man, but he's a keen listener, no doubt. He's able to distinguish a voice of care and concern, but he's also able to discern the voice of a disconcerting individual who cares nothing about anything besides themselves. Anytime, as we call ourselves Christians, we find that our lives are centered more on our own needs, our own desires, our own interests. We should know that the many people that come our way and could benefit from our guidance, pointing them towards Jesus, are the very people who believe that we don't know Jesus. You see, if I know Jesus, if I am Christ-centered, I'm living my life that way. And I'm always looking for opportunity to reveal his love, his grace, and his teaching. I'm always willing to go out of my way in some way to meet the needs of people. things here about transformation. Notice that despair will compel you to give up or to look up. If right now in life you don't have what you want, you don't have what you need, or maybe you have something but it's not the ideal. Maybe you don't have the job you think you deserve. Maybe you don't have the opportunities that you think you're entitled to. Maybe you don't find yourself being respected by the people who are close to you. Maybe you don't believe you're understood. And no matter what you do in that numerous situations that you deal with, you never seem to be able to satisfy needs. Bartimaeus is a blind man. And he sits at the same place, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally, because of his life condition. Just imagine the same clothes every day, the same odor every day, receiving the same intolerance from people every day, the same ridicule and judgmentalism by people every day, the same experience of people avoiding him, getting away from him because he's a stench in the community. This blind man. You see, when life wraps itself around you in a certain way, it forms your identity. You begin to see yourself. If a situation like this comes your way, in a very degrading, belittling, and condescending perspective, you lessen the value of yourself and your choices are an indication that you see yourself in a condescending way. Because he could not see, he no doubt developed a keen sense of hearing to the point where he could detect a kind and friendly voice of those who care. To suggest that he was aware that Jesus was coming to his city indicates that he had either heard directly from Jesus before or that he heard others talk about Jesus. When Jesus came to his city, many things, no doubt, were said about him. Jericho was a city of 20,000 priests. And this multitude of priests, they worked in cycles at the temple. Just imagine Jesus coming into Jericho with all these Levitical priests present. You know, everybody had commentary. Everybody had something to say